To go on FM.
It's great to be here as part of your last show, but don't you think the charade has gone on long enough? I know you didn't feel appreciated. You wanted to do this whole thing. Kevin, to be honest, you're not really leaving.
Kevin's been asking me every day if this was my last day. It really is. It's been the longest goodbye.
So we're going to draw it out through the weekend, and then Monday we'll announce. So by my count,
yeah,
15 years I think we've worked together.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
And I was thinking about some of the fun moments we've had, and there's a lot of them. But the one that I always go back to is when Kenny Rogers played here a decade or so ago. And I remember we took a whole bunch of winners out to dinner. We're all at Casey's. Say hi to Terry and Jen over at Casey's this morning.
Oh, you're good.
And the idea was that they would get tickets to the show and get to meet Kenny Rogers. Yeah. So everybody's excited. We're having a good
Casey's.
Dean and I get a call, literally at the table, from the promoter says, yeah, Kenny's decided he doesn't want to meet with fans. So we've got all these people who at this point are saying, yeah, no, I brought my Gambler album. I'm going to get him to sign it. And look at this, my T-shirt from the tour of '84, And Dean and I are trying to figure out how to fix it, or in a delicate way explain to these people that all their dreams are about to be crushed.
And then Lana spilled ketchup on me.
And then Lana dumped ketchup all over me at the table. So we finally get Kenny rearranged. He agrees to meet with people for about 45 seconds. We show up, I got ketchup all over me. Kenny walks in a pair of track pants.
And this is back when he looked like Kenny.
Yeah, he still looked like Kenny. He
actually, he's had a little work done.
He shakes two people's hands and he starts to leave. Dean goes running after him and says, no, Kenny, there's 9 more people you
Gambler,
have to meet.
come on back.
So I always remember that because it was such a stressful, but looking back at it now, a hilarious behind-the-scenes moment.
Yes.
That and the many years that we got to work on television together with Plugged In
on Cogeco.
Of course, we were canceled due to total lack of interest. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the last show?
They told us about 5 minutes before we were done.
Not even. It was like, okay, we're coming down in 20 seconds. Yeah. I want you to start with the interview about the the fundraiser that's happening, and this will be your last show. Here we go. 5, 4. That one, don't mention it on the air.
Yeah.
So at least in this case, you get to say goodbye.
Yes.
Right?
Well, listen, we have worked together for 15 years, and when I think of the people that I've worked with through the years, your name always is near the top. And I want to tell you that I've never had a brother, but you are the closest that I've had, and I know we'll still be friends after, but it'll be very strange for me not to have you part of my daily life, Kevin. So. I'll miss working with you.
Well, I appreciate that, and I admire what you're doing because it's no secret that you're taking a chance and you're embracing this opportunity, and we're encouraged to live out our purpose in life. You're doing just that.
Thanks, buddy. Kevin Olszewski on with us this morning, and tune into him. Are you done over there yet? You're finished for today.
We're back on though, Monday morning. 5:30. It's the Kevin and Joel show.
Kevin Olszewski. All right, here's my best story of the people we met. George Jones, Alabama. My Shania Twain story is when we went to Sudbury and met Shania Twain, and it was me, Peter. Pete brought his lawyer, Russ Calden. He brings him everywhere, just in case.
I was drinking back then.
And Gary Duguay was there, and so we're backstage meeting Shania, and this is when Shania, this was at the peak of the Shania Twain craze. And we brought a few listeners with us, and there was one young girl who, she had a disability of some sort. So, we're there with Shania, and I said, Shania, this is, Tammy, she's your biggest fan. And Shania, I can't see Pete anywhere. We're about to take a picture. So Shania bends down to talk to Tammy, and as she does, I see Pete at the buffet table. And, here I am, fulfilling a young fan's dream. Pete's seeing how the pastrami is at the buffet table. And we're meeting the biggest star in the world at the time.
In my defense, it was Louisiana smoked shrimp. I've had before.
Anyway, that was in Sudbury, and a few years ago.